One thing I'm often asked while I'm at a trade show presenting the Prestimator is, how fast can I create a new quote? And it's extremely fast. Because it's based off of what you've already entered in your shop settings and defaults are already set, it's a matter of just going in and entering some job specs. So let's do one together, and I'll show you how fast it is. So just from the main menu, just going to click New Quote. Let's just give it a name, call it Fast Quote. And let's actually select, a lot of defaults are already selected, but let's select a customer, and we'll import that information from the customer database that we have on hand. So it pulled in his information. And as far as the quote goes, let's just use the next quote number in sequence, again established in your shop settings, and let's continue on. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go to the specs page, and you're going to enter in what the specs of the job are. And here we're just going to enter that the number of copies, we're going to say this is 12,000 copies, and number of pages, let's call this a 12-page tab. It's going to be newspaper, it's going to be 11 by 15, and the web width is on 34-inch paper. That's it. Based on this information, that's enough to create a quote. I've gone to one screen and entered in just a couple of fields here for job information. All the rest is based off of defaults. So let's just say, let's load all my defaults. All you're going to do here is just agree that you want to use your default paper waste and press make ready and impressions per hour that you've already established in shop settings. Say apply, and it goes through, and what it did was it found matches for all of the specs and found matches with those with what you've established in shop settings as being your defaults. Everything was updated successfully, and I can do a quick view at this point. And that fast I can see a quote. I can see the name of the quote, information about the job itself, and then what the costs are to me, what the markup is, and what the total selling price is, and what the profit is. From this point, you always kind of say, well, you know, as fast as a quote can be created, as fast as you determine what the specs of the job are. So let's say the customer, you know, in this case we went through and there was no color ink in this job. Let's say the customer calls back and says, you know, that's great, what does it cost to add process color ink into this job? Well, the nice thing about this is all of the topics are arranged right here across the top of the screen for specs, so you can easily go to a particular item and just add that aspect into the job. So in this case they said that they wanted color ink, so we're just going to go to the ink tab. Let's say that they just wanted color ink, and they want a process color, and let's say that they want process color on all the pages. Let's say OK, and we automatically added those colors into the job, and let's just say load our defaults again, and it's going to find those default colors again from shop settings and come up with a new price. And there you go. So now the job is incorporated, has color ink incorporated into it, and you can see that all our costs are now reflected and updated automatically. Let's say that at this point the customer says, great, you gave me a quote for 12,000 copies, I want for a few other quantities. I can just simply click on the quantities button here, and let's say that they want it in increments of 500 copies off of the 12,000. So we have 5 additional quantities here. Let's just say OK, and automatically those prices are now, the price is now calculated for additional copies. And again, I can go back to the quantities page and just kind of see what the price is per thousand and what the overall selling price is. So it's that quick, depending on how complex a quote is. Let's say you've done this and now you've submitted this, you've printed this report directly from the database, submitted it to the customer, and they called back and they said they want a few more changes. Let's say that they want to, because of the color ink, they want some proofing done. So let's say we just go to proofing. We want a new proofing type, and from shop settings we just want to say that it's press proofs on all pages, and apply. Let's say that they also want some finishing, that they also want to put a post-it note on the cover. In this case, it's very easy to find the next topic, and you can say I want to go directly to finishing, and let's say that they want to do the inserting, and let's apply that, and let's load all our defaults again. You can see everything was automatically updated, and go to quick view again, And you can see again our profit is still the same, but you can see what the new selling price is and what the new markup is, and always what the cost is based on what it costs you to produce the job. So that's how easy it is really to just calculate an initial quote, is just entering just a couple of fields, and then you can customize and make the quote as complex as needed by the client. But you can see how quick it is just to calculate a new quote based on your defaults, and you can see also how easy it is just to find the topic and enter in job specs and calculate a new quote.